Peninsula man will receive the Michigan Veteran of the Year Award on Friday in Detroit, following a local ceremony at American Legion Post 44 in Marquette. MyUP's Jessica Goska spoke with the recipient and shares what inspires his drive to help those who have served.
When Jim Provost returned home to Marquette in 1969 after his service in Vietnam, guilt nearly drove him to suicide. After seeking help for himself, he began working to help veterans across the Upper Peninsula access the care they need.
At that time, I didn't know anything about PTSD at all. So I just thought I was going crazy. I thought something was really, really wrong. I ended up in the woods with a pistol in my mouth. And I sat there for a while. Then I thought about what that would do to my kids, my wife, my family. So that wasn't an option. So I had to find something else. And I ended up going to Dr. Dan Forrester, psychologist. And after a few sessions with him with a lot of snot and tears, we got to the point where I told Dan, I said, if you can get me to a point where I can function enough to help other veterans, that's where I'm going. So that was 25 years ago. So I've been helping veterans ever since.
Provost is one of 2 original committee members with the Marquette County Department of Veterans Affairs, where he works to connect his fellow veterans with local resources, whether they need physical, mental, or financial help. He describes the work he does as rewarding and says it's his way of honoring those who served alongside him but never made it home.
I felt so guilty leaving that I even wrote myself a letter before I left Vietnam. The day before I left, I wrote myself a letter and sent it to Marquette. So when I got home, about 2 or 3 days after I was home, that letter showed up. And I had written in that letter that how lucky I was to be home and not to forget the guys I left behind.
He's got his own mental health things that he was dealing with, and then he can share and, bring veterans in that are very reluctant. I mean, Jim will actually come into my office and sit in the appointments with these veterans. Just kind of this, like, I got you, we got this. So he's just an amazing soul.
Last year, Provost's friends and colleagues nominated him for the Upper Peninsula Veteran of the Year Award, which he received. Prior to that, Provost was awarded the Veteran of the Year title in Marquette County, and now he's being recognized at the state level. Provost gratefully accepts these awards, but he says that to him, the greatest honor is seeing those he's helped go on to succeed.
The biggest thing that makes me feel good is to see that veteran down the road. I call them sometimes, the ones that we've helped. To me, the satisfaction is knowing that that veteran's family got help, and that is what makes it good.
I asked Provost if the work he's done to help veterans over the past 2 decades has alleviated any of the guilt he carried leaving Vietnam. He answered that it has, and that he will continue to do what he loves for as long as he can.
I just went on the honor flight in May. I had been in Washington before, and I had a hard time going to the wall. But going there with a bunch of veterans and experiencing that with everybody else, and what we encountered at all the different venues there, but mainly the Vietnam Wall, helped tremendously. And I kind of said to the wall, I said, I hope I've done something that makes you feel that I've helped. So.
Provost thanks his wife for keeping him going all these years and wants to remind everyone that any veteran doing good to help others deserves recognition. Provost will receive his Michigan Veteran of the Year Award January 10th in Detroit, following a January 7th ceremony at American Legion Post 44 in Marquette. That local ceremony will be held Tuesday at 6 p.m. and is free and open to the public. For MyUP News in Marquette, this is Jessica Goska.